Have you guys heard about this new documentary that's coming out on Showtime about this NBA player, Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf?
Only what you were saying about it.
Yeah, so at first when I saw this, I was like, man, this looks incredible as I was watching the trailer. So apparently, he was born Chris Wayne Jackson. He played for the Nuggets, he played for the Kings, and he played for the Grizzlies when they were the Vancouver Grizzlies. And he actually played at LSU from 88 to 90. He had Tourette's syndrome. And they called him like Steph Curry before he was Steph Curry. Like every move had to be right for him to be able to do what he did. You'd see him kind of with his tics and stuff on the court. And you would think that would be a hell of a story in itself about how he was able to overcome that and be really, really effective. But no, this is a story about a guy who had Tourette's that went to the NBA and converted, I believe it, if I'm looking at this right, converted, became a Muslim. That's why he changed his name from Chris Wayne Jackson to Mahmoud Abdul-Rauf. And then he stopped standing for the national anthem. This wasn't taking a knee or anything like that. He would just stop standing for the national anthem. And eventually, and I don't believe in the harassment and all the stuff that he faced after that. This is America. You could do what you want. But I can still be upset about this. I don't understand the not standing up for the national anthem of the country that you're from, that you play in. All right, when America does what America does. And look, is America perfect? No. Is the past perfect? No. Nobody's is. It's the best country in the world. Ask anybody that's that's lived in another country, that's gone through the stuff that they've gone through, and there's a reason people flock here. There's a reason for that. Why not just, if you're not going to stand for the national anthem, you made over $20 million in the NBA. I'd love to be that oppressed. I'm sick of these fake oppressed people that find ways to just be victims. That's what this seems like this is. And you have people that come out and say, oh, that's Islamophobic or racist or what. No, it's not. An American is an American. I don't care what you look like or whatever. An American is an American. I'm just so sick of these people disrespecting guys that stormed the beach in Normandy, guys that went around the world and lost their lives, and families that have been torn apart, and guys that come back with no limbs and all this stuff. And to have guys like this who play a game of basketball, who will make more money than any soldier will ever make in his life, and just stay in the locker room. How about you just stay in the locker room? It just, to me, it's one of the most disrespectful things. It's fake oppression. I'm sorry. You're fake oppressed. You're fake oppressed. I don't know another way I'm sick of seeing this stuff. I'm absolutely sick of seeing it, and it's disgusting. If you have anybody that ever served in the military or anything like that, it's so disrespectful. You want to be Muslim, be Muslim. You want to be Christian, be Christian. You want to be that thing where you look into the night sky and try and talk to aliens, be that too. But just show some respect. You know what I'm saying? Show some respect. It makes me sick, to be honest with you, David.
What year did that come out?
The documentary's about to come out. He got drafted, and he was all SEC in 1980 and 1990. So he got drafted at early 90s. He was the NBA All-Rookie second team in 1991. So this is before the Kaepernick stuff, before any of this other stuff. I don't understand. There's a way to get your point across without being disrespectful. Mm-hmm. And it's disrespectful for me. But you're going to be the first one to cry about when it affects you. You made that decision. That's on you. Go try that in Russia. Go try that in China, see what happens. Go try that in Iran and see what happens. They'll cut you up, mail you to your family members over there. It's just a joke. Aaron Rodgers sounds off on his critics. LSU accidentally overpaid Brian Kelly by $1 million. And we're breaking down the best NFL player prop bets for this weekend's matchups. I'm Jake Crane, and welcome to Crane & Company. Most of us have either been a part of or seen other couples stay in relationships that have obviously run their course for multiple circumstances. But one of them you hear a lot is that, well, we wanted to stay together until the kids graduated high school and then split up. And to be honest, that is exactly what it feels like with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay right now. And one of the main reasons why I think they just need to go ahead and break it off. We can all see it. It's just gotten stale. And it feels like both parties are holding each other back. From Aaron Rodgers' point of view, The Packers don't have the weapons around him to be a legitimate contender consistently on offense. And with his current contract, I don't see Green Bay being able to build enough around him as he goes into his 40th year of life. He'll be turning 40 this next December 2nd. Now, from the Packers' point of view, it feels like it's time for a fresh start and try and get some space to rebuild the roster post Aaron Rodgers. Now, the relationship may have started out rocky after Brett Favre discovered their love, but Aaron Rodgers delivered. He gave him a Super Bowl. He's been named the NFL MVP 4 different times. But the spark and the fire, it just seems like it's gone. The passion is out the window. It seems like we lived the same offseason over and over again. And to quote Vince Vaughn, it feels like they both need something new to make them feel dangerous, but also safe. The biggest issue with Aaron Rodgers being traded is the dead money hit it would have on the Packers. But we all know sometimes the alimony is worth the breakup. And there are some nice destinations out there that would welcome Rodgers with open arms, minds, and hearts. How about down in NOLA with the Saints? Or maybe Miami, where they have fast cars on the outside and a quarterback who's basically Mr. Glass from Unbreakable. Or how about you come kick it with us here in Nash Vegas with the Titans? The run game will always be nice. And while there may not be a lot of weapons on the outside, my brother Blaine's been lifting weights all day and freaking out. So I'm sure he can help you, a true possession guy on the outside. At this point, it's time for Aaron and Green Bay to part ways. And who knows? Maybe you guys could throw a couple frequent flyer miles our way. I'm going to go ahead and bring in our co-host, David Cohn, former Michigan quarterback, former Western State, Colorado wide receiver, Blaine Crane as well. Guys, we've got a clip of Aaron Rodgers. Number one, talking about if he's even going to play anymore. I think he's going to play. I think he can still be effective. It just really feels like it's time for him in the past. Look, let's shake hands. What did Fall Out Boy say? Thanks for the memories. Let's move on. Let's mix it up. You rebuild. Aaron's in the twilight of his career. Just, you can go the way of Brett Favre. I don't think he'll go to the Vikings or become, Anakin become Darth.
I mean, as much as I would love to see Aaron Rodgers here with the Tennessee Titans, property in Franklin, come hang out with us, maybe be on our show every week. That'd be great. You mentioned the passion is gone in there. I wonder, is it just on Aaron Rodgers' side that the passion's gone? Because if that's the case, is there any other place that he can go that he's going to make better? I mean, why not just stay in Green Bay? What is the beef? That's what I want to know, because that's what he really hasn't come out and said. Is it just with management because they've drafted poorly and haven't gotten you weapons? Remember, Brett Favre was upset they drafted you.
Yeah.
That turned out to be a good decision, and y'all won a Super Bowl while you were there. Is it with Matt LaFleur? Is that where the beef is? I mean, Matt LaFleur, first 2 seasons, they went to the NFC Championship, back-to-back MVPs for Aaron Rodgers. What is the beef exactly, and where would he go that it would make him happier?
I don't even think it's beef. I think it's that point in time where Aaron, like I said, he's about to turn 40. I'm not saying that Aaron can't be effective, but it just seems like with the trajectory of the Packers, with what they need, you like Watson on the outside. You like Aaron Jones there. A.J. Dillon's kind of a good 1-2 punch, but they need some more pieces on that whole roster, not just offensively. Now, the defense had stepped up last year in the playoffs. We've seen points where the defense has played well. I love some of I love Jair and guys they got on that side of the ball, but they need more pieces. That organization, in my opinion, needs not a total, rebuild, but I feel like they could, while it would be a dead money hit on the cap and things like that going into the next year for Green Bay, it just feels like they're both holding each other back. Like if this was 32-year-old Aaron Rodgers, totally different story. And there's no stone that's been left unturned. Aaron's been there forever. And it's different with Brett and Aaron Rodgers as opposed to Aaron and Jordan Love. Nobody's looking at Jordan Love like, next up, we're as excited about Jordan Love as we were about Aaron Rodgers when Brett Favre left. You do have that, but it just feels like with Aaron Rodgers, like I said, in the twilight of his career, can you imagine Aaron Rodgers in Miami? Can you imagine Aaron Rodgers maybe going to the Raiders and giving him Waller and Devontae Adams?
Again, it depends on what his attitude is. Like, what is his attitude?
I don't think it's an attitude.
All in to be the best quarterback in the NFL.
I think
win
he
Super
is.
Bowls. Then if that's the case, then yeah, I mean there are places he could go and be successful.
Well,
but
Aaron Rodgers is going to play football next year. I don't think he's going to
For
turn down $56 million around that number. Depends on where he goes. I think the passion's still there. I think Aaron's one of those guys, Dave, if it wasn't there, he wouldn't play. I really don't think he would. I think the same thing with Tom.
Mm-hmm.
Right? I know Tom's obviously older than him, but I still think Aaron can leave. The Packers need Aaron a lot more than Aaron needs the Packers.
I agree with that.
Because the Packers over the years have just drafted terribly. I mean, they have. If you're an offensive guy, your defense, you got some good pieces. But on offense, there's no one on that offense that scares you when Devontae left. Christian Watson doesn't scare me. I know he had 6 touchdowns in like 6 weeks. 6 weeks, he's a straight line guy. I mean, you have a kind of good duo running back. So if I'm Aaron, just the options you have out there is just too good to me, right? You got the Raiders, the Titans, the Jets,
the Saints.
The Jets are the Saints. So there's a lot of fits, and there's a lot of team that'd be willing to take that hit because what we're seeing now is teams investing in that next year, right? Going all in on that next year, even if you have to give up your future for it. Saw the Rams do it. I mean, hell, what team will we see next year do it? I wouldn't be surprised if that's a Raiders or a Jets or, hell, even the Patriots.
Well, I wouldn't be shocked if Aaron, because, again, with COVID, people are still strapped. Like, there's still a money problem in some areas. That's why you see some of these mega contracts. They're doing it for a reason with Deshaun Watson and to try and push the market in a certain way for the future. But I think Aaron Rodgers is the type of guy that would say, you know what? I will take less to be in a situation where I can go win a Super Bowl, have the best chance to win a Super Bowl as my career is kind of waning down. Again, the Packers, the situation that Blaine just said, the Packers need Aaron Rodgers way more than Aaron Rodgers needs the Packers. As an organization, that's a terrible spot to be in. That, to me, that tells me if I'm the Packers, it's time. If we can move them, we try and move them. If we got to take a little hit on the back end, whatever, for the future, I just feel like it's time. Not that it's a terrible pair. Not that they couldn't grow old together and not totally regret everything. But at some point, it's not a midlife crisis situation. I just think it's best for both parties if they look at other options.
We said the same thing last year.
Open marriage.
Why not do it last year? That was my thing.
Yeah.
Before you signed the 3-year contract, that would have made the most sense. Did you see the stuff he was saying on McAfee?
Yeah, let's go ahead and play this clip on McAfee's. Because, the one thing, some people try and make Aaron Rodgers a villain. I don't think he's a villain in the eyes of the mainstream media and stuff like that because he goes against the grain and actually calls it like he sees it. Let's go ahead and play this clip of Aaron Rodgers real quick.
There's heroes and villains in sports and entertainment, and I think because of my stance on COVID and maybe some other things, I've been cast as the villain, especially the last few years. And so that is the way that a lot of things I said are often interpreted. I'm not upset about that. I don't feel like a victim in any way. I don't have that mentality. That's fine. I actually embrace that role a little bit. If that's how you want to cast me. But I did see there were some comments that, I'm only playing for MVPs and stuff like that. Didn't maybe quite see the entire clip of some of the stuff that I said. I don't care about that stuff. It doesn't offend me. I mean, this woke culture wants to be offended by everything. You just go online and find something you don't agree with. I'm offended. How could you possibly say that? I don't really care. If you take the right sound bite from the right thing, and it's a station that may or may not have in the past been brought to you by Pfizer, then they got to make sure that their villain gets cast in the correct light. And whether or not they're, sponsored by Pfizer, Moderna, Johnson & Johnson, whatever it might be. When you go up against some of those powers that be, you put yourself in the crosshairs, they're going to paint you in a certain way.
He's exactly right.
Yeah.
He is exactly right. I mean, it's the truth. So looking at all around, I feel like Aaron Rodgers does have a good perspective on this. On the whole situation. Being in Green Bay, will he leave Green Bay? The situation, with the vaccine, which, by the way, we have an unreal interview with renowned cardiologist Dr. Peter McCullough that we are dropping this Saturday, that because of some of the things that he says, and this isn't some guy who, popped out of a mom and pop little doctor shop. This guy is about as big time as it gets. We're not even able to show what he says on YouTube. So this is going to be just for the Daily Wire Plus members, an exclusive interview with Dr. Peter McCullough on Saturday. So if you haven't signed up yet, some of the stuff, it's going to blow your mind. We talk about Aaron Rodgers and Damar Hamlin, and it's really going to blow your mind. And again, like I said, I'm not a scientist or a doctor, and I'm not a doctor of science either, but the stuff that he has to say is absolutely mind-blowing. But speaking about mind-blowing, Cone, if you want a sports book that will blow your mind with great early lines, same-game parlays, and a ton of other delicious appetizers and entrees, you need to download the DraftKings Sportsbook app right now and use our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, because new customers can bet $5 on the NFL Conference Championship round this weekend and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's right. One bet equals $200 in free bets. Not a mathematician either, but that sounds like a great deal to me. And it's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with code BOOSTER, BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. Guys, we're about to get into some player props, all right, on the sharps that we like this weekend. But before we do that, David and Blaine.
Yes.
And Earth. Let's get to the Booster Club.
All right, let's get to Sister Riggs all day wire chat action early. She says, so Jordan Love isn't the quarterback for Green Bay. Where do they find their next QB? We believe in Jordan Love over there, Dave?
No.
No? Don't think so? You don't think he's the guy?
I haven't seen anything that would make me believe in him.
Have you seen enough of him to not believe in him?
No, and again, I'm not at practice. They're going to have to have the final say on whether or not he's the quarterback of the future. They've gotten the last two right.
Yeah.
Right? When you look at like the Steelers have clearly drafted quarterbacks well, the Chargers, Green Bay, so they've gotten the last two right. Let's see if they missed on this kid or not. I don't know.
Yeah, the sample size isn't really big. I mean, you look at, and he's fits in a category where, he's not the only one. Trey Lance, where are we at on that? We can look at Jimmy Garoppolo. What's the situation going to be in San Francisco? Now, we know who Jimmy G is, but you're sitting there with Trey Lance and Jimmy G now while this rookie quarterback is out here having the chance to be the first rookie quarterback to come in and win a conference championship in the NFL, be the first one ever to do it. So when I look at the Jordan Love situation, it's not as nearly clear-cut as the Aaron Rodgers and Brett Favre saga. You remember that dominated NFL headlines for a while. I mean, Brett came out saying it's not my job to get him ready. It's my job to get ready and his job to learn from me, which I agree with. I'm with you, Conan. I don't think the sample size on Jordan Love lets us know if the Packers, and if you're the Packers, that's a tough situation to be in, even if you are at practice, because some guys are different in the game than they are in practice. We've seen it, especially at that level. So, again, do you make a move with Aaron and move up and get a pick or do something like that? I don't know, but I don't think Jordan Love's the future in Green Bay.
All right, let's go to Mike RFF. It's a lifestyle baby. He says the Bears have to make some moves while the NFC North is up for grabs. Well, if anything the Bears are going to do, they're going to find a way to mess it up.
Well, again, you have Justin Fields. You have the piece to build around. I don't think you move Justin Fields or take a quarterback with that first pick. If it's me, it's looking like Jalen Carter's the number one guy on their board right now from Georgia, which makes sense. I mean, you let Robert Quinn go. You let Roquan Smith go. Now, Roquan was a linebacker, but he still handles the interior of the defense there from C-gap to C-gap. When I look at what's out there for the Bears, my gut instinct tells me trade. Trade. You're in a perfect spot. You don't have to go try and get Bryce Young or C.J. Stroud. I heard some people talk about, well, what if the Ravens traded Justin Fields for Lamar Jackson? Why would I do that?
Yeah.
That's spinning my wheels. Again, what am I going to trade back my steak for another steak? Yeah. That makes no sense to me.
And they wouldn't have to trade back that far.
No.
They wouldn't have to trade back that far and maybe still get the guy they want. Just look
and
at
the
one
mountain
of
you could get, because teams are itching to get up that pick.
Yeah,
I want that pick so bad. They'll be willing to get, but it's a real Kevin Costner situation.
I saw that the Seahawks, and I think this would be a terrible move. The Seahawks are trying to get into that fifth spot to get Will Levis after Geno Smith just broke all those records. Y'all go reaching for Will Levis. Y'all can Mitch Trubisky this whole thing. Dude, all he's got's the fastball. That's it. He's Ricky Vaughn. All he's got's the heater. It's a great heater, but guess what? In the NFL, you got to have the changeup and the curve and the slider. I don't think he has it.
Let's go to Aaron McManus. First of all, he said his respect for Aaron Rodgers went way up after that interview.
Yep.
One thing about the interview, all three of those guys are great, but does anybody else, the way A.J. Hawk's head kind of scare them, the way it's shaped?
He's got some osmosis.
A little Easter Island head, too.
Yeah. Hell of a player.
Man.
Hell of a player.
You don't want to see him on the other side of you.
Long hair, don't care.
Ooh, God, those Ohio State linebacker
back in the. You remember Laurinaitis?
Yeah. Oh my goodness.
I played against Laurinaitis.
Yeah.
A.J. Hawk had just left.
Oh,
thank goodness.
Absolute freak.
Down.
What about Navy Vet 09? Hashtag Ask Crane Company says Aaron to Atlanta. I'm a Packers fan living in Boro. Do you think? I think Atlanta's going to go with Desmond Ridder. I really think they are.
I think they need to give Desmond a little more of a chance. I mean, I saw some things with Desmond that didn't make me think he was absolutely hopeless. He runs better. He was a sneaky runner at Cincinnati. He runs a little bit better than what I thought. He needs some experience, but I think Desmond throws a good deep ball. He can do some things for the Falcons. It's going to be interesting to watch what Arthur Blank and those guys do going forward.
The Falcons need more than just a great quarterback to win the Super Bowl right now, which means I don't think Aaron Rodgers would pick that as a destination.
I agree.
If the I don't know what the situation is with the contract, if the Packers can just move him anywhere. I'm sure he has some sort of like no trade clause or can pick his own spot. But just like with Tom Brady deciding to go down to Tampa Bay, Aaron Rodgers, if he leaves, is going to pick a team that is only a quarterback away.
That's my
what's
Miami.
The best team?
They're setting a rehabilitation project.
Miami. It's the Dolphins. Aaron Rodgers to the Dolphins would be horrifying for the NFL. You give Aaron Rodgers Tyreek Hill. You give Aaron Rodgers Jalen Waddle. You give Aaron Rodgers watch me skedaddle Jasicki, a guy across the seam who can be effective. I mean, offensive linemen, they were a little bit beat up this year. You put Aaron in Miami, the defense is good enough. I mean, boys, that's Aaron and Tyreek. Whoo! Scary, scary. That's like The Conjuring scary.
I still just think San Francisco is so interesting to me, this whole situation.
He's from Cali.
He's from out there, talks so much trash about him, passing up on him, like, hey, they're going to pay for passing up on me, went to Green Bay. They've beaten him in the playoffs the last several times that he's lost. Is Brock Purdy the guy moving forward? San Francisco is just so interesting.
The Raiders and the Derek Carr situation is interesting.
That one, too. Well, Derek Carr's gone, right?
So he's basically, I don't know if they really took I don't know what the contract details is on that, but I'd be willing to say the Raiders probably have the cap space to get Aaron, and I think the Jets too. I mean, you want to look at
the Jets have enough weapons on offense. So the Jets.
I mean, I think Breece Hall got hurt. Breece Hall got hurt.
Garrett Wilson's nice, but
I mean, you have
Elijah Moore.
I mean, I think you have enough. Obviously, it's not a better situation than the Dolphins offensively, but that defense for the Jets is Super Bowl caliber.
Yeah,
it really is, and they're young. So I wouldn't be surprised there. Raiders and Patriots are interesting to me too. I know there's not a lot of weapons, but you have enough cap space to get Aaron and a couple weapons. And you always want to rely on Belichick. Could you imagine Aaron Rodgers and Bill Belichick?
No,
I don't think that would work.
It'd last 2 hours.
Yeah.
It'd
last oil and water.
I think it would.
Oil and water.
I think Bill just I know Aaron's a free spirit, but I think Bill kind of.
I mean, Aaron can't be going in there doing ayahuasca in the film room while Bill Belichick's like using the Dewey Decimal System to go find bugs.
I think he'll find out real quick that all the stuff, when he was able to do whatever he wanted in Green Bay, that's not the case anymore.
Yeah.
Maybe Aaron needs that.
No.
Finish out his career. Let's go. Nate State, appreciate the donation, brother. $5 donation. Says ATL needs to trade Pitts for Lamar, then go get Brock Bowers next year.
If I'm the Ravens, ew. You want to give me Pitts for what, free?
That sounds like a fantasy football trade.
Yeah.
Look, just do it. Just do it. Don't think about it. Just do it. That would never happen.
No, I would hope not.
Atlanta to get Lamar Jackson. Goodness gracious. What would all they have to give? It'd be Pitts. It'd be I want London.
Drake London?
I want London.
The varsity. They're going to have to trade everything in the city.
Yeah. Like, right now, Atlanta just needs a word to make sure things aren't burning down.
They can have the varsity, though. Those glizzies are mid.
Yeah, I'm not going to argue with that.
Did we ever eat there? I can't remember if we ever ate there.
I had it one time, and it was really JV to me.
All right, let's go to Cal Kenny. Yeah. He's like, will Purdy's success cause teams to overreach on quarterbacks in the draft? So you're talking about Stetson Bennett. So let's go ahead and talk about it.
I think people always overreach in the draft. I mean, it happens every single year. It's just like anything, right? It's like those movies you see on Hallmark or like a Taylor Swift music video. It's like the most popular guy in school like falls in love with the nerdy chick with the glasses who turns out was super hot this whole time. Like that's what they do in the NFL draft.
Never happens.
That's what they do. It's you reach for quarterbacks and you make them look better than what they are. It's like the thing on Hall Pass. It's like, man, I tell you what, Will Levis, that's a 9. Then all of a sudden you do your hands like this. You're like, wait. He's a 5. It happens every single year.
Who's going to reach for Stetson Bennett? What would be too early for Stetson Bennett in the draft?
They're talking 3rd round.
If he goes in the 3rd round.
Mel Kiper said 3rd round.
Yeah, well, Mel Kiper also looks like he's from Transylvania.
Mel Kiper's it's a weatherman. That's what.
Yeah, he's the weatherman.
He just goes outside and guesses.
Trying to get the golf course to himself.
Goes outside and guesses.
He's trying to get the golf course.
No one says anything about it.
Todd.
Let's go to Young NASCAR, hashtag Ask Crane and Company. Is Clay Matthews discount double check commercials the best football player commercials ever?
Probably.
Yeah, that's up there. I think Palomalu and Head and Shoulders is hilarious
good,
too. Troy just hilarious. People forget how good Troy Palomalu was.
I don't.
Troy Palomalu was Honey Badger before Honey Badger. And he was just destroying people.
What do you think about
He couldn't play nowadays.
Bryce Young Dr. Pepper commercials? Like,
They're pretty good.
when he's like, thanks, Mom.
Yeah. He's like, he came up with, no, remember, he's like, he came up with Dad for me. Fansville's a lot better this year than it was last year when they got everybody hyped up about the monster at the end. And this turns out it was like,
Bring back Larry
Creed
Culpepper.
from Game of Thrones. Yeah, Larry
Ice cold Dr. Pepper here.
Let's go.
All right, one more.
Hip. All right, let's go to Jibbo Eagle. First of all, you got a pump in this morning. You'd love to see it.
Nice.
Hashtag question for Crane and Company. That's us. Can we possibly be looking at Derek Anderson / Brady Quinn situation in San Francisco next year with Trey Lance and Brock Purdy, assuming Jimmy G gets let go?
Okay. Here's where I'm at on the whole San Francisco quarterback situation. I don't know how, at this point, you don't look right. If they beat the Eagles, it's done. They beat the Eagles and go to the Super Bowl. Brock Purdy's the guy in San Francisco. But even if they were to lose, like a close game or something like that, I feel like Brock Purdy, you've seen what Jimmy G can do. You know what Jimmy G does? He doesn't screw it up. That's really what he does. Hell, I think the last time we were in the playoffs, he threw like one touchdown pass, but he wasn't screwing it up. Now, you want a quarterback you just don't want your quarterback going there and not screw it up. You want your quarterback to go in there and play well. Just ask any Cowboys fan. If Dak Prescott doesn't go in there and screw it up, they're probably still playing right now. But when you look at what the Niners have around him and watching just how easy it looks for him as a young guy, he looks more ready than Trey Lance. He looks like he can give you exactly, if not more than what Jimmy Garoppolo gives you. And he was Mr. Irrelevant, so he's still like, this is a dream for him. He just wants to be a quarterback in the NFL. That's what he wants to be, a quarterback in the NFL. And I just feel like the Niners are smart enough to use that. I feel like Shanahan's come out and said he's the most poised rookie I've ever been around, and this, that, and the other. Man, I feel like he may already be the guy. I really feel that way. And you can get stuff for Trey Lance.
It's not like I know you said close loss. Like this team's too good to get beat up bad. Like they're not going to lose.
Well, if the quarterback plays bad. Quarterback plays bad.
Well, how bad?
There's a
Brock
couple
Purdy would have to
interceptions.
play terrible for the 49ers to get beat up bad. The first best defense, not even close. The Eagles are going to struggle on offense, for sure. I'm more interested to see the 49ers offense versus the Eagles defense. So the Eagles defense has been good all year, but there has been games where they've struggled. I mean, you go to the Cowboys game. There's been games they gave up 25, 27 plus.
You talking about the Eagles or the 49ers?
Well,
the Eagles.
There's been, and the 49ers too. I mean, most
The
of the
Raiders
games they were
game,
into,
yeah.
but at the Falcons, like when all their defensive starters were out of that game, I mean, it was horrendous.
Yeah.
So are they fully healthy? That's what I want to know on both teams.
Well, again,
Both defenses fully healthy.
I think what you saw from the Niners is really impressive because they weren't able to run the ball last week. I mean, they really weren't able to run the ball effective last week. They couldn't run it on the interior. They tried to run it on the outside a little bit. They didn't get a ton,
I
but
think second half they established it pretty well.
they
Second half
established
was-
it better.
they
But
ran the ball.
overall, they were very one-dimensional for pretty much that whole game. And sometimes when that happens, it's like in Major League Baseball. Sometimes you go out there and one pitch isn't working. And you've got to make do and just get through that game with a couple pitches working. And that's what Brock Purdy did in that game. And that's how it is in the NFL sometimes. Y'all know this. You're not going to go out there and throw for. Aaron Rodgers didn't throw for over 300 yards in one game this season. Didn't throw for over 300 yards in one game. Sometimes it just goes down like that in this game. But speaking about if it's going down and if you're going down, all right, you're feeling less like your old self these days, and you don't have the energy you used to, and the body, maybe there's a little bit of softness getting in there in the body and the mind. We got to fix that, all right? And our friends over at Nugenix Total T Testosterone Booster, they can fix that. Nugenix is absolutely the move because as we age, our body loses free testosterone, our energy drops, our libido falls, and we start to lose muscle. Doesn't happen to me, but it's happened to some people out there. So if you text CRAIN to 231-231, they will give you a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Total T. So text now, but wait, there's more. You'll also get a complimentary bottle of Nugenix Thermo. That's their most powerful fat incinerator ever. Boom, it's gone and it's absolutely free. But you must text CRAIN to 231-231. That's CRAIN to 231-231. Speaking about burn it up, boys, up 22 units on the month. Let's go through some player props that we like for this weekend's matchups early. Want to get out there, put liquid paper on a B and see what happens.
Love it. What do you guys got?
All right, I'm going to start off. I got 2 of them that I like right now, and they both are involved in the Eagles-Niners game. 1, anytime touchdown scores. Not first touchdown scorer, but anytime touchdown scorer. George Kittle did not score last week. All right? Didn't score last week. Typically, coming off a playoff game where he hasn't scored, he plays well. They try and find him. I want George Kittle and A.J. Brown, who's come out and talked about he wants the ball. He's not a diva, but he wants the ball, and they should get in the ball. Give me A.J. Brown anytime touchdown, parlayed with George Kittle anytime touchdown. That's plus 575. I like it. George Kittle may score the first touchdown.
You think so?
I'm telling you.
Want him as first touchdown score over there, Blaine?
No, I'm going Devontae Smith in that game. I think the Eagles are going to score first in that game. I do think the 49ers will get a field goal, right? I think the 49ers are going to get the ball, go kick a field goal, but the Eagles will score the first touchdown. It was hard for me not to bet Goddard for what he did for me last week.
He did come through.
It's tough. When you get a first down touchdown score and they come through for you, it's hard not to bet him again, but I think Devontae Smith will be the first touchdown. And I also like the Chiefs. I like Travis Kelce, Jamar Chase, anytime touchdown.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Both those are minus. I mean, if anything, I'd parlay
You're going to pair them together?
I'd parlay those together. I think when you get this late in the playoffs, usually your best players show up. All right, especially in the red zone. Another one I like T. Higgins over 56.5 yards. I think T, between the 20s, T. Higgins is going to have a big day. I think once you get past the 20s in the red zone, that's where they're going to feed Jamar. Because I don't think the Chiefs are going to double Jamar when they get in the red zone. The Chiefs are known not to do that. So I like that. I like Nick Bosa and Hassan Reddick to both get a sack.
Hassan Reddick's been freaking out.
Yeah, so I think, and just sooner or later, it's just like gravity when it comes to this, right? These defenses are so good. And I know for the 49ers with Trent Williams, but Hassan's going to be on that other side, away from Trent. Bosa, sack leader in the NFL, so I think both these guys get a sack. And I like Jalen Hurts in the 49ers-Eagles game to have the most passing yards.
Okay.
The Brock Purdy, it's minus 180 for Jalen Hurts. I think Brock, a lot of it will be quick game, medium range stuff. I don't think they're going to push the ball down the field a lot. I do think Jalen Hurts with the run game, especially the quarterback run, that opens up the the ladder to the second half of the field. So those are kind of some props I like.
Yeah, I got one here too.
Go ahead.
My second one is a little receiving yards prop parlay. Give me A.J. Brown over 54.5. I think they're going to target him a lot. Because, again, when you do have Devontae Smith and you have Dallas Goedert in the middle and you can bump Miles Sanders out there and Boston Scott can go out there and do some things, it's hard to double everybody. I want to pair that with Brandon Ayuk over 29.5 receiving yards. I feel like Brandon Ayuk, outside of George Kittle, is the biggest security blanket that the 49ers have. It seems that they designed, Shanahan loves designing plays to Brandon Ayuk on all 3 levels of the field, right? The third guy I got, Juwan Jennings, is over 14.5 receiving yards. They're not throwing Juwan Jennings a bubble screen. Okay, when they throw it to Juwan Jennings, it's across the middle. Typically, it's in that middle third. They target him multiple times in the game. So I like those 3 together. But Brandon Ayuk, to me, outside of Deebo Samuel, and people say, oh, well, Christian McCaffrey's a Swiss Army knife. Yes, he's a little beat up this game. But Brandon Ayuk can do a little bit of everything. And Shanahan, like I said, he affects all 3 levels of the defense. They'll throw him the now. They'll throw him the hitch. They'll throw him the dig. They'll throw him the basic. They'll throw him the post. They'll throw him the vertical. They'll run two-man combinations with him outside, whether it's smash, whether it's poco, which is post corner, things like that. I feel like these 3 guys, especially Jennings over 14.5 yards, I feel like he may get that on his first catch because, again, he's not a short field player. And I don't think the run game is going to be very good for either team. I think it's going to come down to who can throw it, especially when you get in the red zone. That's where it's going to get weird. You want to know where guys like Juszczyk and Kittle and all these guys really come into effect? It's in that red zone because Philadelphia front 7 and the Niners front 7 are both very stout. How are you going to get that ball in the rectangle with the names painted in it? That's the biggest question. That's why I'm nervous about this over-under because I don't know who's going to get in the end zone. Like that. That's my biggest thing.
Yeah, 2 of the better defenses. And that's why you're talking about those run defenses. That's why I like Deebo Samuel here, over 75 receiving and rushing yards combined.
Yeah.
So his total yards, Deebo Samuel, over 75, especially with Christian McCaffrey not being 100%.
There you go.
I think they're at least going to get Deebo Samuel the ball in creative ways, plus what he's already doing as a possession guy. So over 75 yards, that's plus 110. So you're getting plus money there on that. Then on the defensive side, let's take Fred Warner over 8.5 tackles. I really like that. That's plus 110 as well. So he's averaging, he had 130 tackles on the season, something like that.
That's a lot
if
today.
Philly's going to run if Philly's going to run the ball a lot, I think that, you should look at Fred Warner there on that. Then for the Cincy game, look, Joe Burrow 3+ touchdown passes is plus 220 right now. to throw 3 TDs in the game.
I'm just scared of that wind. I looked at the weather. The wind's supposed to be like 27.
Look at the weather in the Buffalo game.
Yeah.
Came out slinging it like it was the middle of the summer.
Yeah, that's true.
So, one of the things that worries is if they were to get up and then they start running the ball a lot, handing it off to Joe Mixon, or you get a pass interference in the end zone or something, he rushes it on a quarterback sneak. That's the kind of thing that could bust up three touchdowns. But, for him to throw 2 touchdowns is minus 170. To get that third one goes all the way up to plus 220. So, I don't know, some good plus money bets there.
Look, betting on Joe Burrow is always a smart thing. And you see the Bengals are now a favorite in that game.
Yes, I did.
It flipped from the Chiefs being the favorite to the Bengals being the favorite. Give us your best player prop in the comments, in the chat, whether it's YouTube, Daily Wire, wherever. Let us know what's your best player prop bet. And remember, use DraftKings. Use our code BOOSTER to get that great offer. Speaking of Booster Club.
Yeah, Cal Kennedy, he likes Pacheco over 57.5 rushing and receiving yards.
I like that.
Over hitting the 9 of the last 10 games, averaging 85 yards in those games.
They're feeding him. The young back from Rutgers, he runs hard too, buddy. Man, he runs hard.
Yeah, go ahead.
Emmanuel C came in here, so I'm wondering what. Okay, he said he has Joe Burrow over 1.5 passing touchdowns at minus 175.
Yes. So that was minus 175, and then for him to have 2+, I mean that's what he's saying, over 1.5, right?
Yeah.
So and the other way you look at it is 2+ right there, minus 170. That's why to get that third one goes all the way up to plus 220.
Sneaking in there, maybe Tyler Boyd late.
Here's the top 5 anytime touchdown scores for that Cincinnati Chiefs game. On Cincinnati side, Joe Mixon plus 105, Jamar Chase plus 100, Pacheco plus 150, P. Ryan plus 450, and then Kadarius Toney plus 270. Juju Smith-Schuster is all the way down.
Jerick McKinnon.
Jerick McKinnon is...
That's your best bet to me.
Jerick McKinnon is plus 160. Jerick McKinnon's plus 160.
In the red zone, he becomes, especially with Patrick hurt.
So on their side, it's Chiefs Kelsey minus 110, McKinnon plus 160, T. Higgins plus 195 there to get in the end zone. Joe Burrow plus 600, like we were just talking about, quarterback sneak situation. Hayden Hurst plus 320.
See, this is where if you're going to take McKinnon to score a touchdown, where it stinks that it doesn't count passing touchdowns, because I guarantee you he will line up at quarterback in the red zone at some point in this game for the Chiefs because Mahomes beat up. And he will run for a touchdown probably, and then they'll throw a pass off of it. Like Bieniemy and them will come up with, because McKinnon was a quarterback. People forget that. That's why he's up there with Patrick Mahomes.
Quarterback at a small school, wasn't he?
Yeah, but he's
Southern,
still a
baby.
quarterback. He can still throw. Yeah.
I mean,
States
huge
throw.
school.
Huge school.
Ginormous
Yes,
school. I
with
apologize.
geniuses and scientists.
All right, Emmanuel C also likes George
Emmanuel C
Kittle with the over 3.5 receptions. Well, if you put it in here, I'm gonna ask it. George Kittle with the over 3.5 receptions at minus 150. I like that as well. Malcolm Martin has Noah Gray over 10.5 receiving yards.
Noah Gray?
Let's go to Travis Elrod, player prop. Jake Crane plus 3.5 B words on Friday. You better go more than that, bud.
You better take that under.
That's way too low.
You better take that. Vegas is wrong on this one.
Let's go to Jimmy's mom. I live in North Carolina, so I have to use a betting service like Prize Picks. The projected receiving yards for A.J. Brown and Brandon Ayuk are 15 to 20 more yards than what Jake said DraftKings is projecting.
Take it. I'm telling you. You go get that money from your parents' piggy bank.
Sister Riggs, player props. She said, I'd be putting something on Jalen Hurts getting a rushing touchdown. You'd probably be right.
Probably should. I'm not going to tell you no. I'm not going to tell you no.
Anytime touchdown has to be minus something for Jalen Hurts.
That dude's broke contained
best
more
QB sneak team in the league.
Dude, well, yeah, he's broken contained more times than Kyrie Irving.
I love seeing how creative.
It's plus 110.
Wow, easy money. But I love how to see how creative people are getting with the QB sneak now. It's kind of fun. You're getting the fake. The dives
Did
off
you see
of
what Sirianni and the Eagles did on the first fourth down, or the first third quarter, first QB sneak situation? Did a little motion with Goddard, little basically sweep outside. Dirty.
Fun.
Sirianni and Shanahan and the whole situation, there's a lot of moving parts, a lot of
Wing
thinking down the road. You love to see it.
All right, Jimbo Eagle with a $5 donation. Appreciate it, Jimbo. What best explains why the Lakers aren't performing well this season, even with LaFlop James still putting up huge numbers?
Because the roster doesn't work. Anthony Davis, I know he just came off the bench and scored some points. He can't stay healthy and stay on the floor. Russell Westbrook and LeBron just don't mix. I don't know how many times I've got to say this. It's oil and water.
It's not. No, I wouldn't say that. Russell's just not good at basketball.
Russell is a ball.
He's not good at basketball?
No.
That's ridiculous.
Didn't he have like the most triple doubles?
Yeah, that's ridiculous. Here's the problem.
50 years?
For Russell Wilson to operate, or Russell Wilson, For Russell Westbrook to operate the way that Russell Westbrook operates, he has to dominate the ball. Russell Westbrook is not an off-the-ball player. That's not what he is. Why was he getting all those triple-doubles? Because he always had 3 options. I can shoot it, I can take it to the rim and try and dunk it, or I can pass it. Because he has the ball. When you play with LeBron, LeBron has the ball. That's like having Aaron Rodgers and Tom Brady on the same team. Only one of them can play quarterback at a time. Like, it just doesn't fit. It's not a good mix. Why did D. Wade and LeBron work? Well, because LeBron could dominate the ball, and D. Wade is great off the ball. Russell Westbrook is not an off-the-ball player. He's never been. He never will be. That's why the minute this trade happened, I said it wasn't going to work. And it's not LeBron's fault. And in my opinion, it's not Russell's fault. With Anthony Davis hurt and Russell Westbrook and LeBron not being a good mix, the Lakers are never going to win anything. They're never going to win anything, and they haven't.
So, Blaine, Russell Westbrook, he's never been good at basketball, or he's not good anymore at basketball?
Last 2 years, he has been average at basketball. Okay. And they're paying Russell Westbrook way too much to be average. He's ranked the 22 best point guard right now in the NBA.
Yeah, because
that's bad. He's shot terrible. LeBron's still putting up huge numbers. If you whisper to Anthony Davis he's out for 4 weeks, other than that, they don't have a true scorer outside LeBron.
It's a bad roster. I'm sorry.
That's just it. Russell's not living up to what Russell Westbrook's supposed to
Well, they gave up everything for Anthony Davis. So
the Lakers, hey, the Lakers are 5 games behind the Kings.
Kings are pretty good this year.
That's like UAB being better than Alabama in football. It just doesn't make sense. The Clippers, they're behind the Clippers. They're the worst team in California.
Are they really?
Hell, I'd probably take Stanford right now.
UCLA?
Tiger Campbell? Hawkins?
Speaking of which, UCLA and USC play tonight.
That's going to be a good game. I know UCLA, I think, is a 5-point favorite, something like that. The under was at like 131. Like, am I missing something here? I know that typically USC scores points, unless I'm just tripping. What else we got in the clip?
Let's go to Malcolm Martin. Says he must be a Skip Bayless fan. There's no way you think Russell Westbrook is bad. Russell Westbrook has been bad the last 2 years of basketball. He's been a phenomenal career. I mean, Mr. Triple-Double. I mean, the baby, rocking kids. But the last 2 years, he has not been good at the Lakers.
Russell Westbrook is a terrible supporting actor. He has to be the star of the show. He has to be the star of the show. Some guys are like that. Mm-hmm. I guarantee you, I'd be willing to bet you, Blaine, because Russell Westbrook and the Lakers will move on at some point. If they send Russell Westbrook to some place where he is the ball dominant guy, where he controls the ball, he'll start playing better. I don't care where it is. I guarantee.
I think at this point, I think LeBron in his career wants someone to be the star of the show. I don't think LeBron wants to go out there every game and have to drop 40.
I thought that was the whole reason they brought Anthony Davis in.
Yeah.
Well, Anthony Davis is hurt every year. I'm talking
about conceptually though.
Yeah,
like
for
LeBron was ready to pass the baton on. I'm tired of doing all the work.
For sure, but he can't pass the baton if the dude's not on the basketball court. Mm-hmm. You know, so I think he would love for Russell to come in and be the star of the show, Mr. Triple-Double. He would love for him to be that guy, but he just hasn't been since he's got to the Lakers. I mean, he really hasn't been the same Russell Westbrook he's been in his career, especially from a shooting standpoint. And we talked about this, during last year's basketball season. Russell Westbrook was shooting terribly. From the two, from the three.
Because one of LeBron's greatest assets is his ability, both offensively and defensively, to really play 1 through 5, to play any position. So I wonder if Russell Westbrook was playing much better if LeBron would accept an off-ball role more. Even though
I don't think so.
You don't think so? Even at this age, you think he needs to be on the ball, running point, basically?
Well, LeBron is that anomaly that you're talking about that can do so many things. But at the end of the day, I mean, LeBron is regardless if you like him off the court or not, which I don't like him off the court, but on the court, he's the greatest player of my generation that I've seen. At the end of the day, LeBron is LeBron. There's a reason he goes by one name.
But Kyrie was a great scoring point guard.
Yes.
You know, I mean, he was a great passer,
because Kyrie could do what? Kyrie's a shooter.
Mm-hmm.
Off the ball, Kyrie is good.
But he's still a 1. He's not.
No, he's a 1. He's a 1. Yes, but Dwayne Wade was a 1. You could say Dwayne Wade was a 1.
Dwayne Wade was a shooting guard.
Yeah, he was, but so was. I think Kyrie and Dwayne Wade do some similar things. I think Kyrie's a better shooter than Dwayne Wade, and Dwayne Wade played a little bit more above the rim than Kyrie did. They're a little bit different there. But when it comes down to LeBron, to me, as long as LeBron is playing basketball in the NBA, LeBron is going to be the focus of the show. Go back to look at Russell Westbrook at the Thunder. What happened with the Thunder, right? Did they win a championship with Russell, James Harden, and Kevin Durant? No.
They did not.
No, they did not. James Harden was coming off the bench. But what happened when those guys left? Russell Wilson did what? Triple-double, 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 because he was the guy. That Russell Westbrook cannot not be the guy and dominate the ball. It's just like that sometimes in basketball. Some players are like that. It's just the truth. But speaking about basketball, that's a great segue into our college basketball shoot-around. Had some games last night.
Yep, we got some big ones tonight, too. We talked about USC, UCLA, Purdue's at Michigan. Got some good stuff. But let's recap last night a little bit. Mississippi State was putting it to Alabama in the first half, especially in the paint. Alabama comes back in the second half. They win by 3.
Yeah, if I'm an Alabama fan, those are the type wins that make me feel better than wins that we won by 30 points.
Yeah.
Because you were down basically the whole game. You did not play well. Mississippi State came out ready to play. Chris Jans had his squad ready to play. I mean, it felt like that 8-9 point lead just stayed there the whole game, but Alabama found a way to win. Then you look on the other hand, you watch Auburn, and we're going to get to that, at home, just play absolutely terrible against the Texas A&M team. Buzz Peterson, we love Bruce Pearl here, but he owns Bruce Pearl. I mean, Auburn's 4-10 against Texas A&M since Texas A&M joined the SEC. I don't know what the deal is with that. I've got a good idea of who Texas A&M is and who Auburn is a little bit. But if I'm an Alabama fan, I feel really, really good about that win last night because those are the ones we talk about, the games where you just got to survive a little bit. I mean, you look. I mean, they held Mississippi State to 27 points in the second half. They outscored them by 10, and you're able to hang on at the end. I mean, it just, again, I would feel really good about that if I was an Alabama fan.
UConn, again, since beating Villanova, they've lost 6 of 8, including 2 losses to Xavier. Lost again to them last night, 82-79.
I do want to give Sean Miller some credit, and I know Arizona fans are like, oh, Sean Miller, Mr. Allergic to the Final Four. We get it. And is Xavier going to make the Final Four? I don't think so. I love watching Big East basketball. I think it's fantastic. But what's happened with Coach Hurley and them is that it seems like they've kind of got away from what got him there a little bit. You look at Sonogo. He's always going to get his, but UConn was shooting so much better around him. What's been the knock on UConn the last couple of years? Well, they're good driving to the basket. They got Sonogo down low, who's the top 5 post player in college basketball, but they haven't shot the ball well. They shot the ball well, including a win over Alabama. The ball was going in the basket. Now it just seems like their ability to put the ball in the basket and then defensively. I mean, you gave up 82 points to a Xavier team that has some nice offensive pieces, but make no mistake, I mean, these guys aren't exactly the Globetrotters. You look at how Xavier shot last night. Fremantle was 2 of 5. Nunji was 6 of 10. Jones was 8 of 16. Boom, which unbelievable name, by the way, was 6 of 12. Xavier was very efficient shooting the basketball last night. And then you look at UConn, and Jackson Jr. goes 3 of 12. Caravan goes 2 of 5. Sonogo did his thing. I mean, he was 4 of 7. He only scored 11 points. I mean, Hawkins ended up dropping 28, and Newton dropped 23. Or you'd have gotten run out of the gym again.
And they were getting run out. I don't think UConn led in that
first
game.
half. I think they were down 15.
Yeah.
At the end of the first half.
I don't think UConn led. Houston, number 3, took care of UCF. Tennessee put a beating on Georgia. Providence, top 25 team, had a nice win yesterday. So all things looking up there.
Yeah, I do want to say this. Tennessee defensively, I still think they're the best defensive team in the country. It seems that Plavich,
More than
Vakaitis, as we call him down there for Tennessee, is figuring it out offensively too, which makes them a lot more dangerous. It seems like that Rick Barnes just wants to sign somebody that's trying to kill Bruce Willis and Die Hard. Whether it's Plavich, whether it's Vescovi. It's like, I don't know where you're going to get these guys, but,
Them in Arizona?
Yeah, them in Arizona. Arizona's basically a NATO meeting every time.
I think Tennessee and Bama right now are, head and shoulders over everybody else in the SEC.
I agree, but I will say, man, Texas A&M, I've watched A&M play a couple times. The fact that they weren't ranked coming in this game kind of surprised me a little bit. I know they didn't have the greatest lead up to conference play, but here's the type team that Texas A&M is. Texas A&M is a team that knows who they are. They're unbelievably scrappy, they're big, they're physical, and they know they are a defensive team that needs to drive it to the basket. Sometimes in basketball, shots are going in. So when A&M is making shots and shooting like they did last night, they are very, very hard to beat because typically they know they're not going to shoot to beat you. They have to beat you in other ways. And when you have that identity and that mindset long enough, and you got guys like Marble down low that can score, you don't let your shooting affect your defense. Texas A&M can shoot well, and it doesn't affect their defense. They can shoot poorly, and it doesn't affect their defense. Buzz Peterson has gotten them to that point, which makes them very, very dangerous. And do not forget, this was one of the last teams last year that did not make the NCAA tournament that played really well down the stretch.
Chip on their shoulder.
Are pissed off.
Yeah.
They have been pissed off since that happened. A&M's scary. I do not want to see A&M in the NCAA tournament if I'm somebody, because they've got a little bit of everything, and Taylor and those guys can, if they shoot well, they can beat anybody. But here's Auburn's problem. You got a team full of role players. You don't have, I don't know if there's an NBA guy. Maybe Jalen can help somebody. Jalen Williams can help somebody in the NBA. Janai Broome, maybe. But you have small guards, and you have a bunch of role players. Like in Auburn's, the home court advantage at Auburn, it was the longest home winning streak. And they've been playing smarter, and they've been moving the ball around. Auburn just looks little to me. They look little too. They got pushed around last night. They got big boyed last night. And you don't really see that at home a lot with Auburn. Auburn's got and Bruce Pearl has made his money at Auburn. Look, they're ranked 16 in the country. It's gotten to the point now where we're complaining about Auburn being ranked 16 in the country. Me growing up, they couldn't even make the NIT. So that's here for another day. But just looks like Auburn's got a lot of
Well,
role
you can't be
players.
small, right? Kind of the same.
And shoot bad.
And can't shoot.
Yeah.
Right? And basketball, if you have those two things, you're probably not going to win a lot of games, right? And I'll still to this day, if you didn't watch this at the J-Bo Show, I get it. When Alan Flanagan's on the court, I just can't believe in Auburn. I'm sorry.
I don't think that's crazy.
Look, what did he go yesterday? Went 3 of 10.
Been
0
playing
for
better.
3.
He's been playing
Well,
better.
he's going to his left. All right, no matter what it is,
Zoolander.
he's going to go to his left. KD Thompson, Auburn's one of those teams. If they play normal, they're going to be okay, right? They're going to be okay. But there's one of the teams. If they shoot well, especially coming in the tournament, they could get extremely hot. They have that type of energy, but. You lose Walker Kessler. You lose Jabari Smith. It's understandable if you don't have that guy.
Well, I've watched Bruce Pearl. I mean, they lost Bryce Brown and Jared Harper and replaced him with, they had Chumo Kiki and Isaac Okoro. I mean, Auburn's been having top 10 picks. This is the worst roster I've seen Auburn have in a long time. And you know who the best shooter on that team is? It's not Wendell Green. It's not Jalen Williams.
Is it Haru?
It's Lior Berman.
Haru, baby.
Yes. Haru the Great White Ninja, Splash Festival. He's a real true shooter on that team.
Blaine, there's a real 7-footer island showdown happening at center stage tonight, okay? Zach Edey, Purdue. Hunter Dickinson, Michigan. What do you think about a 7-footer island situation here?
Oh, man, why do I dislike Michigan in this game? This is at Michigan, correct?
Yes.
It is.
It is at Michigan this game. And Purdue, they've been playing okay lately. I mean,
they're 19-1.
Yeah, I know, but still. If you watch their game, their role players have been playing phenomenal. It's been Zach Edey just being an absolute monster, right? Which what he is. So I'll be interested to see this game. I like Michigan in this game. I
need points.
I'd bet a money line, but I still think Purdue right now, I'd put Purdue at number 2, and I'm putting Bama in front of Purdue.
Until somebody shows me they can do anything with Zach Edey, I just have a hard time not putting Purdue 1. I think this is one of those battles, when talking about Zach Edey and Hunter Dickinson, that thousands of years from now, some little boy will be on the beach, and they'll be like, the wind will blow, and some sand will move, and they'll be like the edge of this scroll or book. And then he'll go pick it up, and it'll be the tale of Zach Edey versus Hunter Dickinson. 2 giants, the Nephilim. What I'm wondering is, we saw the floor break from Armando Bacot.
Yeah.
At what point does Zach Edey just fall to the side?
They have to fly Zach Edey in. I'm like, well, you ever seen Lake Placid?
Yeah.
It's like they gotta fly him in and just drop him off. So he doesn't destroy anything.
He can only play in stadiums that can open up.
Yeah, they got to drop him in. It's like Pacific Rim.
How is Zach Edey supposed to score points if he can't even fit inside the building?
He's huge.
You know how huge he is?
And he's gotten
I
better.
can be watching my TV in my living room from the kitchen, and Zach Edey still.
Because Dave, we talked about this even in last year's tournament. Zach Edey, it's not like he grew this year, but he's gotten better.
Thicker. I think
he's moving better.
Yeah,
it seems to be slowing down for him a little bit.
I didn't even think he was the best 5 that Purdue had last year.
Yeah,
I would have taken Kofi Cockburn over. The unbelievable passer.
I can't remember his name, but anyway, a 5 that was passing and assisting like he was a point guard or something. Like Purdue was just as effective, if not more, when he was on the floor. This year, Zach Edey, 23 and 13 is his average.
Do you want to know how you know when somebody's giant? You know how when you shoot the basketball, it goes up and then goes down? Zach Edey's just goes straight from up to down. Like his shot just goes down. You know, there's no arc. It's steep because he's taller than the goal when he puts his hand up. That must be, and Dickinson too. Dickinson's a monster.
He is.
All right, if you were to tape these two guys, let these two guys stand on top of each other, they could change the light bulbs at the top of the catwalk.
Travion Williams.
Travion
Williams.
That's exactly.
Hey,
That's
got that one right. Nice.
But no, I mean, there's some good matchups tonight, like you guys mentioned. Again, I'm getting ready for this NCAA tournament. I'm super duper excited about it.
Let's get through football first, baby. We still got some playoff games.
Look, I want
Super Bowl. All right.
I want all of it.
I get it.
I want all of it at the same time.
Matty Ice wants all of it right now in 1994.
Really?
Yeah,
Matt Ryan's in there?
Who, right now, is the biggest witch in the NBA?
The biggest witch? John Morant.
That's a good pick. Well, after what Damian Lillard did
That's
last
a good
night,
one.
putting up
That's a good
60
pick.
on what, 29 shots, something like that?
Give me LaMelo
That's
Ball.
the fourth time he scored 60. But I want to go ahead and bring this up. We had, again, we love when fans send stuff in for the show. Our buddy David Street sent in, what do we get?
You want me to go ahead and get to that?
Yeah, let's go ahead and get to that. I don't
David Street, man. David Street sent in this this Michigan dad mug here.
Wow.
So I don't know, is there a technicality, like, do my kids have to go to Michigan now, or is this a situation where I'm
Is there
Michigan
like a legacy?
and I'm a
like
dad?
you got some Auburn babies, I'm be honest.
Huh?
You get.
You think so?
Auburn babies, yeah.
Anyway, I'll read this here.
There's a reason I got your son that T-ball thing.
Yes.
It's not to go to Auburn.
Okay.
I will drive over there and take it back.
Actually, that
I already
makes me
told
wonder,
Bruce, like-
that makes me wonder if there's something written on the bottom of it, that's like
Yeah.
a hidden symbol.
It's the Auburn
Said,
fight song.
There is. Don't worry.
Dude, he said, Cone, dude, I actually meant to send this gift last month for your birthday, but realized I made an error. I didn't think I put the right address last time. Happy birthday, extremely belated birthday here from David Street.
David, we
man.
appreciate
it,
you.
buddy.
Appreciate it, Davey.
Yep. And our buddy Thomas, that don't have a last name, wrote us a great letter. We really appreciate it. Webb City, 16th state championship. Coach retired.
champs?
Shout out
go.
to Webb City, the Cardinals. Caw.
Let me see that thing.
Caw.
Red City Cardinals.
There it
huh?
is. That's a nice looking Cardinal there.
Web City, nice.
It is. You got to represent the city. Web it up. All right, we got a little trivia on Thursday.
Thursday trivia, yeah. The PJ's doing it this time. Producer
okay.
Justine is going to pipe in some
Hello.
trivia for all of us.
All right.
This time David gets to participate.
I get to participate.
You love to see it.
Control room helped me out with this question. So
Okay.
there are 13 cities with all 4 major professional sports teams. You have 2 minutes to name all 13.
When we're saying all 4, we're talking about NBA, Major League Baseball, NFL, and NHL?
Correct. 2 minutes, and your timer
13.
starts now.
It has to be New York times 2, right? Because they have
Yep.
2 of each one.
Yep.
Right? Am I wrong?
Yep, that's
That counts
true.
as 1.
Okay.
That
New
counts
York-
as 1?
New York counts as 1?
Yes.
That's fine. Let's go
Has to be Chicago.
Chicago,
Chicago. Has to be LA.
Los Angeles. Let's go Dallas.
Dallas Stars.
Dallas Stars.
Yes.
I mean, are we saying we're
Dallas.
Dallas, right? Yeah.
Is that your final
Dallas.
answer?
Yes, Dallas.
Philly?
Correct.
4.
Or say Philly.
Philly, they have the Flyers.
Yep.
Yeah, Philly.
Eagles, Philly.
5, okay.
Atlanta doesn't have a hockey team, right?
No, not anymore. They used to. They don't
used to,
anymore.
that's right.
How about up in Oakland? What's
Tampa.
Tampa. That's it. Yeah.
Tampa.
No.
Tampa Bay Lightning.
What's their
Tampa
NBA
Bay
team?
Devil Rays.
What's their NBA team?
Oh God, the Magic are in Orlando.
How about
Boston.
Boston.
Boston?
Yep.
Good one, Boston. How about Miami though?
Miami?
Where did the
No.
hold on, where's
no
the hockey
in
team?
Miami.
The Panthers play.
Tampa Bay Lightning, Florida Panthers.
I'm talking about the
the Florida Panthers.
I
What do
think
they play?
Miami.
Miami, right?
Miami.
Correct.
7.
Yes, that's 7. You said there's 13.
All right. How about Northern California? What's the hockey team in San Jose? Right up there with.
Yeah, but they
But what's the?
Anaheim. But see now you remember they used to be the
What about
Anaheim Ducks?
New York?
We already said New York.
We're on the right track
How
with
about
California.
Minnesota?
Washington, D.C.
Hold on, Minnesota. Oh yeah,
What city?
D.C. Yeah, Washington
Yes,
D.C. How
All
about,
right, how many do we have?
How about Minnesota?
What city in Minnesota?
It's the
Fine,
Minnesota
fine.
Timberwolves. It's the
Why
That's
can I
the state.
why can I think of
What city in
St. Paul?
Minnesota?
Hey,
St. Paul?
St. Paul, Minnesota.
Yes.
Okay.
Minneapolis.
Well, how many we have?
Minneapolis, yeah.
4 left.
We got 9 seconds. 4 left.
9.
Just say it. You said Chicago,
Phoenix.
Kansas City,
Phoenix.
Phoenix, Kansas
Phoenix,
City.
Phoenix. That's 10.
10 10's not bad. Not
10's
Las
not
Vegas.
bad.
Did we not say Las
Guys.
Vegas?
Vegas.
They don't
what's
have a
the
baseball
basketball
team. They don't have a baseball team.
San Francisco,
San
California.
Francisco.
Yeah, see, I knew. I didn't know if it was Oakland or San Fran.
I don't know if you can count that.
Denver,
anymore.
Colorado, and Detroit,
Denver.
Michigan.
How did we miss Denver?
And
That was a
Detroit.
bad one to miss.
Detroit.
That was a bad one to miss.
I thought we did.
That was
I thought we
good.
did well. 10
thought
out of
we did
13,
well.
I'll take it. 10 out of 13.
I feel like 2 minutes was not enough time, to be honest. So we'll work with the controller.
That was a tough one. Hey, nice job with trivia back
Yeah, that was good, Justine. I thought that was pretty
Love it.
good. I'm proud of you guys. All right,
Thanks.
let's get back to the Booster Club real quick. We got a little rapid fire.
All right, yeah, Winston Savage said Denver. Stephen Moore said Detroit. Baltimore, I don't think that's one.
Ravens, Orioles. No.
I thought we did well. Let's go to Austin. See if Brock Purdy wins the Super Bowl. I bet in his post-game interview he tells Roger Goodell to get out of his office.
Look, at that point, can you tell him anything?
If what happens,
If Brock Purdy and them win the Super Bowl, if you come in your rookie season and you guys go undefeated since you come in and win the Super Bowl, nobody can ever tell me anything again. Not even my parents. Like, oh, you want me to do this? Well, I was going to until I was a rookie that won the Super Bowl.
if you do that, it sounds like they're going to make an E! True Hollywood story about you in about 8 years.
For sure. I mean, you're famous
real.
forever. Like, how do you? He would basically Stetson Bennett the NFL.
What's the guy's name in Along Came Polly? Raindrops.
Oh gosh, yes.
What's his name? He gets that E! True
Rainmaker.
He passed away.
Philip Seymour
That-
It's
Hoffman.
the same
Philip
guy in
Seymour Hoffman.
Mission Impossible.
Philip Seymour Hoffman. What's his character's name though?
I can't remember
In
that.
Along Came Polly.
Things like Ned, not Ned. Ned Schneebly's the teacher from School of Rock.
Well, now I have to find it, so give me a second. Or it's going to upset me here. I'll go ahead and ask another question so y'all can talk between yourselves. Let's go to Malcolm Martin. He says, Purdue has been playing with fire lately. He says, take Michigan. What are the odds on Michigan winning that game? Do we know the odds?
Yeah, I
think-
looked at it
yeah.
today.
They're 4.5 point. I think they were 4.5 point underdog last time I saw it on DraftKings. I don't know. Was it plus 125? Around there?
I think it was
Maybe
that much.
Was
Hold
that-
on.
Look, I don't think
Sandy Lyle.
Sandy Lyle.
Sandy
That's
Lyle.
exactly right.
Raindrops.
Yep. I in my opinion, Purdue is. Look, I'm never going to get mad.
Oh,
mad
it's
at a
plus
team.
175.
Plus 175. I'm never going to get mad at a team for finding ways to win. But Purdue, from a guard standpoint, again, Braden Smith is young. I think he's going to end up being a pretty good player. You look at Morton and the guys they have around that they can shoot and get hot. Zach Edey has to carry this team. Let's not make any mistake about it. But look, Michigan plays up and down too now. Like Michigan hadn't. I mean, I think they've underachieved, to be honest with you, in my opinion. Buffkin's got to start playing better. You know what you're going to get from Hunter Dickinson. I love the freshman point guard you guys have, though.
Is it Jawan's son?
No, Jet Howard's fantastic. It's the little witch y'all have that just throws it off the glass without even looking at the basket and it goes in. You know, those little guys. I think he's from Washington. I think he's from the DMV.
Wouldn't be surprised.
Out there, Washington, D.C. type area. Unbelievable player. Unbelievable player. I like Michigan. They've been playing up and down, but Juwan Howard hadn't punched anybody yet, so it's been a good year.
Yeah, no doubt.
Let's go to Trevor Sage. What's up, Trevor? He says, do you think the Lamar Jackson to New England Vegas odds hold any water? Last week, they were betting favorites right now in the running for Lamar Jackson, but now they believe they're fourth. Do you think the Bills would spend that type of money? So I don't know if he meant the Patriots.
I think he said, would
that.
Bill spend that type of money?
Okay, yeah, but he was talking about the Patriots being the odds-on.
That doesn't make sense. That's a weird. I don't like that.
Lamar Jackson?
Yeah, Lamar Jackson, Patriots. If I'm Lamar Jackson, why would I go over there? Because I can throw Jacoby Myers.
Yeah.
Yay! I go from hurt Rashad Bateman and Devin Duvernay to Jacoby Myers. Yay! So excited.
Well, it goes back to the Patriots say have enough to sign a quarterback and get a couple pieces at receiver.
There better be some good pieces.
So you're thinking, I mean, if you have DeAndre Hopkins, Devontae Parker, and Jacoby Myers with Hunter Henry at tight end, that's a solid skill group.
With Bill coming in?
Yeah,
Bill O'Brien?
that's a solid skill group.
Is it
You can
enough?
win with that?
Is it enough? The Patriots got to fix their defense too now. Let's not make like the Patriots defense in the old.
They're
school
just better
defense.
spots for him, though. That's
I feel like that's fourth or fifth on the pecking order. That's like a kind of a last ditch. Hey, I got to get out of Baltimore.
Okay, he says, yeah, here he is. Do you think Bill Belichick would spend that type of money? I think he would.
Not when they have Mac. I think he trusts Mac.
McCorkle?
Yep.
What a terrible name. I'm sorry, but that's just a terrible.
It is tough.
It's really bad. Chris E., have you guys ever heard of challenge coins? It's something the military members gives each other. It's not sports, but would you guys take some if I got them for you?
Yes.
For sure.
Challenge coins.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Accepted.
Yeah.
Accepted.
The sentiment. Laura Brown wants to know, what do we like more, the NBA lottery or the NFL draft?
Your beef jerky that you send us.
Facts.
I would say the NFL draft.
Agreed.
Okay, Texas says AR-12 to NOLA, Lamar to Miami, and Jimmy G to Green Bay.
Oh, I could see it. What does old boy say from Angels in the outfield? It could happen.
It could happen.
What about rapid fire? You want to make that happen?
Let's make that happen, man. All right, talking about NFL quarterbacks, Patrick Mahomes, Jalen Hurts, and then Justin Jefferson, also on this list, are the finalists for the AP MVP. Who's going to win the MVP this season?
It's got to be Jalen Hurts.
You think so?
Yeah, I think with what he's done on the ground, and Patrick is an unbelievable player. He's one of the greatest quarterbacks I've ever seen. But what Jalen has done, and look, there's some narrative that goes behind it as well when you're looking at MVP. Everybody likes a good story. Jalen Hurts, coming from where he came from, transferring to Oklahoma, and a lot of people doubting him at quarterback, similar to Lamar, and coming out and being this efficient. And look, I know the Eagles have a great situation roster-wise, and the offensive line's good, but he's still got to go make the plays. He's got to make the throws. He's elevated everybody else around him. And if you go by the numbers, Jalen Hurts has been as effective as anybody at quarterback, and I think he is the MVP. And I want to see him win the MVP so Joy Taylor can look like an idiot.
Blaine, what do you say?
I think Jalen's going to win it just because of the way Jalen's been running and throwing the football this year. I really think. I think he has the most, kind of agree with Jake says, he's had the most impact, right, on the offense when it compares to other people in the league. But Patrick Mahomes is really good at football, guys.
Yeah, nobody's saying that.
He's really good at football, and I know, he's the one. All right, you could almost give it to him every year. You really could.
He has to be the favorite right now to me, Patrick Mahomes. I mean, 5,200 passing yards leads the league. 41 touchdowns leads the league. I don't know. It depends on how much they're going to weigh the postseason here and what he's able to do in the AFC Championship.
Well, is there a wrong? I don't think there's a wrong answer between these two, because then you look at Jalen Hurts' numbers combined. He had over 3,700 passing yards and over 760 rushing yards, 35 combined touchdowns while going 14-3. Again, I don't know if there is a wrong answer. You can make a case for both these guys. Hell, and obviously Joe Burrow's in the race and Josh Allen's in the race a little bit. Don't think either one of them are going to win
but they're not finalists.
Yeah, they're not
Jefferson's
finalists, but and Justin had an incredible.
Yeah, 1,800 yards?
And incredibly, and just huge plays. Remember the game against the Bills on 4th and 18? I mean, the guy is as clutch as a stick shift. But no, I think Jalen Hurts is your MVP. That's what I think.
Does Justin Jefferson have a chance, Blaine?
No, I don't think so. He's a phenomenal player, but the only way I thought he would really have the chance is they had to make a deep run in the playoffs. That's what, because we can sit here and say they really don't weigh the postseason, but they weigh the postseason.
I think you have to.
I mean, to a certain, Justin could only do so much. At receiver, you can only do so much, guys. I mean, sooner or later, they're going to double you, and you saw that against the Giants, which is smart.
Next one, LSU accidentally overpaid Brian Kelly $1 million. That's a lot to
God, I would love for that to happen.
I keep checking my bank account to see if it happened to me.
It says 87,000 IRS agents really coming through clutch.
Well, no, that never happened.
Yeah.
McCarthy, you dog.
No, I was just making a joke. It wasn't just that. Did you look at how much money LSU raked in last year? They raked in like $19 million more last year than they did the year before. Like, it's ridiculous. They're not hurting by any stretch of the imagination. They may give him a little tip.
Did he have to pay it back?
I don't know. Yeah, I would think so.
He won
right?
10 games.
Yeah, like it.
Year one. Only $1 million?
Keep it.
Yeah, we only overpaid you $1 million. Something's wrong. It's supposed to be 2.5.
Yeah, that's exactly.
Put it on my tab.
Yeah, what a great problem to have.
Yeah, that's no.
Are you telling them? Are you telling them? Or are they just going to find out regardless?
Yeah, they'll find out. But again, when you're a millionaire like that, I mean, you don't want to risk, getting an extra $1 million to maybe screw yourself over from a tax situation or something like that. But no, look, getting overpaid by $1 million, I mean, sounds like a high-class problem.
So how did he go into the office, you think? You're like, look, you accidentally paid me $1 million too much, and because I'm coming and telling you about it, I'm going to keep 75% of it.
No, I've just pulled the Joe Biden. So completely clueless.
Yeah.
Completely, I don't know how they got in there.
Well, no, what I would say, no. What I would say,
where am I?
What I would say, and the politicians do this best. The first thing I would look at, and they'd be like, "Hey, Coach Kelly, we need to call you. Come into the president's office, whatever." So walk in there, like, "Hey," they're like, "Hey, Coach Kelly, we see that we've overpaid you by $1 million." See, that's when I do what they do in politics. First off, thank you for that question. I appreciate that question. Look, I don't believe in people getting overpaid. You know, then I would launch into this campaign about how it's bad to overpay people. And it happened to me. So now this is me telling you that I shouldn't have been overpaid, but you had to call me in here to tell you that. Like, you didn't come out and say, all right, guys, y'all overpaid me by $1 million.
So you're just weaving a spider web that no one can
Yes, it's exactly
make
right.
any sense
because
of at all.
that's exactly. It's like, oh boy, from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. If I got strings pointing all these different ways, you can't find them.
I mean, they'll make him governor. They'll make him governor.
I refer your question to the DOJ.
Well, that or we'll circle back.
Oh, you got to.
I would say thank you for that question. We'll circle back. I'll refer you to the coaching staff council.
Because, I mean, if you circle back enough, it just turns into a full circle.
That's exactly right. You just stay going.
You never stop. It's just a full circle.
How do you think black holes are created?
Yeah. It's
Fine.
beautiful.
I'm learning so much today.
You're welcome.
We talked about a little bit Dame Lillard, 60 points. 60 points, fourth time, third fewest shots to score 60 points, I think. And only had 10 free throw attempts.
Sniper. Just true sniper. But Dame is so much fun to watch. Because, you know, we talk about, like, oh, wow, like this quarterback can throw from this different angle and he changes his launch angle when he's on the run. Dame shoots from like 35 different angles. Like, he's just a pure shooter. Like, honestly, I would love to just watch Steph Curry and Dame Lillard do a three-point contest against themselves. Against each other. Because it would be unbelievable to watch because they are two of the greatest shooters that we have ever seen. I'm not even shocked anymore when Dame does this or hits a game winner or anything like that. At the end of the day, it is what it is.
Dame, you just need to get out of Portland.
I was going to ask you, what is his future?
Get out of Portland. First of all, the city's just being ripped apart, dude.
Oh.
Two, you're way too good to be on that roster, and they're not getting any better. You're averaging 31 a game. 31 8 assists a game. You're the only thing they got. CJ's gone. CJ McCollum's over there with the Pelicans with a young group having a great time.
Yep.
And Dame, you can go anywhere you want, bud. Anywhere you want. Lakers, Nets, Sixers. I mean, Damian Lillard would be a great fit for somebody, especially if you want to make a run. Because right now, we can say this about the Warriors. We can say that about the Warriors. The Warriors make the playoffs, I'm afraid. Right? I'm just afraid. If I'm any other team, because that switch will get flipped immediately when they make the playoffs.
The only thing in Portland that's more on fire than Dame Lillard is the buildings when Antifa shows up. So if it's me, I'm getting out.
I mean, you have to. I mean, at this point, you're 12th right now in the Western Conference.
Ugh.
Right? I mean, you're 13 and 10 at home, 5 and 7 on the road. I mean, who do you have with you? You know, other than Dame, I mean, who do they really have? I mean, absolutely nobody. I mean, absolutely, you have Anthony Simmons, who's okay. Jeremiah Grant, you have decent players. I mean, you have Josh Hart, okay. I mean, Justice Winslow, a bunch of young guys, but no one who's really proven, you know, that you're going to have a run. So if they're going to waste your years there, which is not surprising by a Portland team, man, get out.
I'm out.
You're too good to be. Damian Lillard's too good not to have.
Well, he's put in enough work there too. Like,
he's too good.
He doesn't know anybody anything out there.
No doubt.
Put him on the Grizzlies.
All right, last couple here. Did you see there's another flare-up here between the PGA Tour and Live Golf? Rory McIlroy snubs Patrick Reed, says he's in no mood for reconciliation. They're out at the Dubai Desert Classic. I guess Patrick Reed flicked a tee in his direction or something. Is this going to have to be settled off the course?
Patrick Reed should have gotten beat up when he was young. Nobody beat Patrick Reed up. I'm just telling you right now. Like, nobody beat this kid up. This was the kid probably who had rich parents that go in there and feel like he could say whatever he wanted. Like, what's old boy? He reminds me of old boy from Harry Potter that Harry lives with at first. With Dudley?
Dudley.
Oh, Patrick Reed's 100% Dudley. I've never met Patrick Reed a day in my life, but I already don't like him. And I don't like Rory McIlroy. I don't that much. But I can't stand Patrick Reed. Like, you flick a golf tee at me, I take a 9-iron to you.
Well, the thing about it is just like Patrick Reed gives off really private school kid vibes. He really does. And I'm saying all private school kids are like that. He gives off the vibe, do you know who my dad is? You ever about to get in a fight and be like, well, do you know who my dad is? I don't care. It's about to get awfully violent here for the next 45 seconds. But this is nothing new for Patrick Reed. From cheating on the course to just all these little instances. Like, dude, and so Rory could probably just, if it really came down to it, it's not like Rory ain't in the gym pumping every day.
Yeah, no, Rory beat Patrick Reed to sleep.
Yeah, but I'm not surprised with this. There's always something with Patrick Reed. He's basically the Draymond Green of the PGA.
Yeah, but it's good for the PGA, though, I think, to have a villain like that. I think he knows his role.
I just don't think he's a good villain.
He's
the villain no one gets excited about. He's just that one villain that gets there. He's that one villain that gets there that no one's afraid of, right? He just wastes everybody's time.
Still a villain.
Like, if Aaron Rodgers is the villain I'm afraid of, right? If A-Rod pulls up, no one's, it's like, oh, it's the villain Patrick Reed. So see how many ice cream cones you can eat in 45 minutes.
Yeah, it's like they pull the mask off of Scooby-Doo, and it's always Patrick Reed.
It's not a good
I would have got away with it.
I don't know who
too,
would
if
be
it
the
wasn't
best
meddling
villain in
kids.
golf.
Tiger Woods.
I don't know. He's too
Villain?
heroic to be a villain.
Yeah, he's too heroic.
Think about. I mean, the fall for he's Harvey Dented this thing a couple times.
I think it's
Patrick
I
Reed's
think it's DeChambeau.
You think so?
Yeah.
Patrick Reed's like, sometimes you're not the villain, sometimes you're
The clown.
Say it, Dave.
I'm not even going to say it.
Dave.
Sometimes you're not the
Come
villain,
on,
you're just,
Yeah.
you can fill
We
it in
almost got
yourself. Fill in
X-Files
the
fell
blank.
there.
All right, last one here. You guys sent me this with Travis Kelce. Was it Travis Kelce?
Yes! They stole
Advocating
Blaine's
for
idea.
fighting in sports. These guys watch Crane and Company.
If you have ever watched our show, Blaine has said this on multiple occasions. So Travis, and again, they, great minds think alike. They wanted there to be fights in sports, Major League Baseball and stuff like that. And Blaine, he said that a million times.
I'm telling you, like, guys, it comes down like fighting makes everything better. All right, and you kind of say the same way I would want to do. It's like hockey.
Well, in sports, I don't want to go to the grocery store and have to beat some.
No, okay,
dude up to
obviously.
get
We
orders.
got out of the food chain for a reason.
Yeah.
We don't want to have to do
Yeah.
that, okay? But in sports, where it's football, baseball, basketball, there should be someone like hockey. You let him duke it out for a certain amount of time, right?
Everybody feels
Sit him
better.
for a drive.
Everybody
whatever
feels
you have
better.
to do, whatever the logistics that comes with it, but let them fight. You want to sell tickets? Let them fight. These are grown men who literally hate each other for 4 quarters, and then they can be buddies. Let them fight. You know what's the awesome thing I always remember when it comes to football? It's Andre Johnson absolutely whipping up on old boy
Cortland
from the
Sutton?
Titans.
Not Cortland Sutton. Was it Cortland Sutton?
No, that's the receiver for the
Yeah,
Broncos.
no, who was
I'll go back
know
and
what
look
I'm
at the name,
talking
but you remember that? You all remember, like, the Odell, Josh Norman, when he was at the Panthers. We all remember these things. We can forget him if we tried. It would make things so much better. All right, and anything, no one's going to you might break some fingers. You ever punch somebody with a helmet on? It's going to hurt you worse,
Yeah, it's
but
the
it'd be
worst.
great to watch. It'd be great to watch to a T. I'd buy a ticket for it. I think the league should really, really look into it. I'm not just sitting up here saying things. Like, I think that.
Well, I feel like the NFL's violent enough. I think a sport like Major League Baseball or something like that. I don't think the NFL needs to add fights. Like, it's violent enough.
Well, it's up to the players. Like, if y'all want to fight, fight.
So you mean they need to leverage the NFLPA? Like, we want to do this.
Yeah.
They don't even want to practice anymore. You think they're going to start fighting?
Yeah.
Yeah, in our day and age, yeah. It's not about practice. It's just fight.
You can't tackle the quarterback anymore. You want to start fighting?
Yeah, I think so.
That would be awfully interesting. But I think Major League Baseball, maybe, basketball.
Cortland Finnegan.
When was the NBA the best?
Bad
When
boy
they were
Pistons,
out there
Bulls.
thugging it out
If
every
we really
day.
got, like, if we put it on paper, the best times in sports. And there's going to be, I know with the McGuire and the Sosa, but like the best time in sport when things were rough and rowdy.
Well, when's the coolest? Look, what is some of the stuff that's most memorable about baseball? I still see Robin Ventura charging the mound at Nolan Ryan's.
Pedro Martinez throwing down old boy.
Zimmer,
Yeah.
the old man.
Yeah.
Did
Put him in
Nolan
the time
Ryan
machine.
headlock him?
Yeah.
Nolan Ryan headlock him?
No, well, Robin got him a couple times. He's only got to get multiple hits off Nolan Ryan. That's for sure. But hey, if you want to watch the rest of this, all right, or listen to it, head over to the Daily Wire Plus, become a member, where you'll also be able to watch exclusive content. Because this Saturday, we're releasing our interview with renowned cardiologist Dr. Peter McCullough, where we discuss everything from what happened to Damar Hamlin to Aaron Rodgers' stance on the NFL's vaccine mandate. And due to YouTube's sensitivity to these topics, you'll only be able to watch the interview as a Daily Wire member. So become a member and don't miss the interview, and all access today at 12:30 Eastern, 11:30 Central. You can come hang out to us. We'll be right back because I'm going to the Board of Education. All right, our Booster Club bets, they are brought to you by DraftKings. Download the DraftKings Sportsbook app. Use our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER, because new customers can bet $5 on the NFL Conference Championship games this weekend and get $200 in free bets instantly. That's only at DraftKings Sportsbook with our code BOOSTER, BOOSTER. Minimum age and eligibility restrictions apply. See show notes for details. All right, boys, up 22 units on the month. Feeling good, feeling emotional. Bank account's full, so is the belly, so is the mind, and so is the heart. So here's what I'm going with tonight. All right, hockey's been good to us. Give me Avs, Flames, Wild, all money line, plus 173. And then on the hardwood, Memphis, Sam Houston State, both money line, add it with Purdue, Michigan, over 136. And UAB and Louisiana Tech, under 151.5. That's plus 430, boys. Trying to make a run here at the end, make it a little bit interesting, feeling good about it. Let's finish.
Bet buds.
Yep.
At least part of it. I want the Michigan Purdue over 136
Good.
as well. And I'm going to pair it with Memphis money line.
Go, baby, go.
I don't have the third leg of that. Just
That's
two,
all right.
plus 112. What was yours? You had the...
I had Memphis money line, Sam Houston State money line, that
Gotcha,
over
Sam
you just
Houston
mentioned Purdue,
State.
Michigan, and then the under in UAB, Louisiana Tech.
I'm just going to go with those two. That's plus 112. And then let's go to the ice. Penguins, plus a goal and a half. Let's pair it with Bruins, plus a goal and a half. Both on the road, minus 111.
Okay, give me Tampa Bay plus 1.5 at home with the Flames and the, I believe, Avalanche. That's going to be money line. Those last two is plus 118. They got a little NBA. Saved me yesterday. Thank you for the Lakers coming through in the clutch. Give me the Nets, Cavs, Clippers, all money line. That's going to be plus 110.
All right, Baby Cone. He's going out to the Pac-12. He wants UCLA and Arizona money line tonight. That's plus 102. And then the Preds. Take it from Cali back to Nashville, baby. Preds money line plus 105. Come on, Preds.
Hosting the
I got to
Devils.
take Reed to a hockey
Devils.
game.
Get out of here, Satan.
Yeah, Devil, get up off me.
Get out of here.
All right, Booster Club as we wind down on a Thursday.
All right, a couple donations here. Let's go ahead and get to these. Let's go to Trevor Sage. What's up, Trevor? The Bruins need to finish 25-10 to have the most wins in NHL regular season history.
They can do it.
You think they're going to do it in early Cup picks?
I think they can do it. They've been consistent the whole year. Why am I going to give up on them now? That's my thing. What's the saying we have? If somebody shows you who they are, absolutely believe them. So yeah, hell yeah, I think the Bruins can do it for
They
sure.
will break the record 25.
So they got to go 25-10.
And down the stretch. Do you have any? Y'all have any right now? People here are leading for the Stanley Cup. Do you got any picks?
It's
Y'all like
easy
them?
it's easy to sit here and say the Bruins. I mean, because they're leading it. You still got the Maple Leafs. I mean, they're not having a horrible year by any stretch of the imagination. We know offensively what the Maple Leafs and the Lightning can do. You know, guys, though, part of me, why do I just feel like the Canes, like Carolina? I don't know. It's just something about
I like
them.
Carolina.
I like the way they play. I want to say the Predators. I want to say it with all my heart, but I just don't believe it. I'm sorry.
Man, how about the Seattle Kraken, one of the worst hockey teams in the NHL last season, now leading the Pacific with 61 points. They have a 28-14 record. That kind of turnaround.
Well, this has been a resurgence in Seattle. I mean, hell, look at the Mariners. It's looking up there. The Seahawks, that was one of the best coaching jobs Pete Carroll's done since he's been there. Geno Smith was resurgent. Now look at the Kraken. They finally got released and see what's happening. So, no, I mean, it's a interesting time to be a sports fan in Seattle. You've had two teams come out of nowhere and one that you've been building up with the Mariners, with Logan Gilbert and J-Rod, some of the pieces they have, man. City Seattle, they're doing it in sports right now.
All right, Thomas Briscoe Jr. with the $5 donation says, thank you all so much. Man, I'm looking to see if you asked a question under that. I don't see it, but you're welcome for whatever we did for that. Let's go to Stephen Moore. If NFL fights do needs to add jiu-jitsu to the mix, okay.
There you go.
Okay.
Jiu-jitsu.
Punches ain't going to cut it. Break an arm, separate a shoulder, break an ankle. No.
With the amount of money these guys are making, it's never going to happen. But we don't need to add fights to the NFL. The NFL is one of the most violent sports that there is. It's like, hey, let's add fights in rugby. No. All right? You need to add fights to the sports where they aren't as physical. Baseball, basketball,
Pickleball.
Quidditch, badminton, swimming.
Oh, man, underwater or?
Well, you can't drown anybody. That's against the rules.
Yeah, but
Underwater
you could
swimming?
tread
Is that what you
water.
just asked me?
You could tread water and
Well, dude, if I'm doing like water polo, I'm too tired to fight anyway. I mean, that
Yeah.
looks exhausting.
true that.
All right, let's go to Jay Chain. Says Patrick Reed needs to go to school with Zach Wilson. Look, I'll take Patrick Reed. At least Zach Wilson knows how to ride with the fear. Let's be honest.
Yeah, look, Zach Wilson, he's done one thing that I like. I can't think of Patrick Reed's done one thing that I like. He's also a thief.
Yeah, let's go to Travis Elrod. Is LeBron in a similar situation to Aaron Rodgers? Is there a team that just needs LeBron to win a championship?
Not in football. It doesn't work like that. Comparing those two sports are hard. I'll say this. Aaron doesn't have a Russell Westbrook or Anthony Davis. So I know Anthony's hurt, and we talk about it in the Lakers. Who's Aaron got? Another guy named Aaron? Aaron Jones is a good back. Outside that, who you got?
Alan Lazard.
Yeah.
The Wizard?
The Lizard King? Who knows?
All right, let's go to Isaac Rose. What's up? Isaac says, my wife doesn't watch sports. I was explaining the other night that the guy in the Subway commercial was Derek Jeter. She said, oh, I know who that is. Do you think, how many people do y'all really listen to think women-wise know who Derek Jeter is?
A lot, because he's a good-looking cat.
Yeah.
Derek's that guy.
Household name.
Yeah.
Y'all know
Can
he used to
confirm
give, y'all
he
know
is
he used to give
attractive.
big gift bags and
Yep, gift
signed
baskets.
signed baseball.
Look, he's a class act. Appreciate your time. All right, now get out of here. Here's a gift basket.
All right, does anybody, a Real Truth Cactus wants to know, can I get everyone's best dad joke? Do you have a good dad joke? I mean, Cone, you're a dad.
Cone, you're a dad. You have to. You have to have.
I'll come up with some and make sure that they can be shared on.
Well, I've got a good one.
You got a good
I've
one?
got a good one. You want to hear it?
Yeah, go ahead.
All right. A priest and a rabbi walk into a bar.
Mm-hmm.
Must have hurt.
Yeah, they should watch where they're going.
There you go. How about that? You like that one? Write that one down. Send it to your friends. I got a joke about a frog on a rope, but I can't tell it on this show.
Okay, let's go to. Okay, we have a question right here. All right, do we think Alvin Kamara is going to be playing for the Saints next year?
Yes, I think the Saints go get Lamar Jackson. It's Alvin Kamara and Lamar Jackson. Woo! How about that? But want to let everybody know out there, we appreciate you guys. Great show today, fellas. Make sure you subscribe. Catch us on all platforms. Go to the Daily Wire Plus. Make sure you sign up, become a member there. That exclusive interview with Dr. Peter McCullough is dropping Saturday. And remember, without you guys, there is no us. The Booster Club, the greatest grassroots movement since Jazz and or Miracle Grow. And like the chances of Brock Purdy not taking it to the Eagles this weekend, I'm going, and we're going, gone.